Hey guys, come with me today as we fall for these abstract pumpkins.
Yeah! Woo!
Okay guys, here's what we're gonna need today. You're gonna need a sheet of regular drawing paper, a sheet of orange construction paper. You're gonna need a pair of scissors, your pencil. I have 2 different size Sharpie markers, Elmer's glue, and then I also have these sheets of poster paper. You can buy them pre-cut. At Walmart has them. I'm sure any office supply stores, or you can get them off of Amazon. They're just poster boards. They're 11 by 14 poster board sheets. So this is what we're going to use today to mount our art on. So you can just set that in the sheet of construction paper aside, and we'll get to those in just a minute. Okay guys, so I set my other supplies aside. What we're gonna do is on this sheet of paper, we're gonna make like an abstract pumpkin piece of art. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna draw our pumpkin, and then in each part of the pumpkin, we're gonna do a little fun design, and we're just gonna leave this piece of art today just black and white. So this should be a fun, easy, fast-flowing project. If you're a kid at home doing it or a teacher doing it with your class, you guys have fun. The more the designs, the more fun it is. So here we go. Let's draw our pumpkin. What I like to do when I first go to draw something, I like to do just a real light sketch of what I'm going to draw. We want this to almost be like a rounded off rectangular shape. So we're gonna just do that light drawing first. That way, once we get the shape of our pumpkin the way we like it, we can darken the lines and just go for it. So we're just gonna make that rounded rectangular shape. And you see at the top, I'm just bringing it in to like a little curve and bringing it back around. So we've got that rounded rectangular shape here, but we're gonna bring it in at the top and curve it around. That's gonna be the top of your pumpkin. From there, you're gonna do 2 lines up. They start close together here, but they're gonna go away from each other at the top. That's gonna be the stem to our pumpkin. At the top of this line, what you can do is you can connect the line over here and then do like a little smiley face underneath it. That's gonna make it look like the top of the stem. You can see it. Right here at this point where we cross over this line here, you can go ahead and erase that line. And do you see how it just disappears then into the pumpkin as if it belongs there? You can even do a curved line underneath that. If you want to, you can add some leaves to either side of your pumpkin. Those for leaves are just a curved line with a matching line underneath it. I may do 2 of those, 1 on either side. You can also, if you want to, do a little swirly stem on either side, because pumpkins do have those. Okay. So once you have those drawn in, we're going to draw the lines into our pumpkin. And you can decide how many you want. I might go on either side of the stem and do a curved line on either side, because a pumpkin kind of curves out as you go. And then I'll do 1 more on this side going that direction, and I'll match it over here on this side and make it go in that direction. So once we have our pumpkin shape drawn, what we're gonna do is inside our pumpkin, I'm just gonna draw some different designs. You can decide what you want to. Sometimes when my kids are in the studio, they draw smiley faces, or they draw hearts, polka dots, stripes, wavy lines. We're gonna do a few different shapes here. So here we go. On the inside of this one, I'm gonna do some polka dots. So we're just gonna layer those in different spots. And I may do that on every other line. So I'm going to skip a space and do some polka dots over here. And then I will match that over here on this side. Okay, so inside my pumpkin on this side, I may do some diamond shapes. So I'm just going to draw the diamond shape, and at the bottom I'm going to connect it again and just repeat that pattern over and over again until I get to the bottom of my pumpkin. And I'm gonna do that again over here. Just gonna repeat the pattern over and over and over again. And I may, on the outside of that, repeat that pattern again. Another diamond, over and over again. The closer that it gets to the ends of the lines, you can just decide, you can just make little lines. If you can't draw the full diamond, you can just make the resemblance of one just right along the edges. I'm going to do that again on this side, and then we're going to color it. Okay guys, once you get your design done on your pumpkin, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take our Sharpie marker and we're gonna outline everything on our pumpkins. And don't forget, if you wanna add another little design in your leaves or your stem, you can go ahead and do that, or you can leave them blank. I may just draw in a line and just do some lines on either side to make the shape of the leaf, the inside of the leaf. All right, so now let's go to tracing this drawing out. Remember, don't worry if you don't get your lines exactly perfect or you're not matching up your pencil lines. It's okay. We can go over it with the eraser once we have it outlined. All right, you guys, once you have it outlined, you can go over it with your eraser and just erase those extra pencil lines that you don't want to see through. Okay guys, so once you have your pumpkin outlined with all of your designs, you can take your larger Sharpie marker and we're just gonna fill in the background areas, and I'll show you how it's done. I'll show you in this side right here. So what I'm gonna do is just go in with my large Sharpie, and you can do this with a Sharpie or you can just do it with a black marker. Either way, whatever you have in your stash of art supplies you can use. So I'm just gonna go over here and I'm just gonna start coloring around all of those polka dots to highlight the background. It's kind of coloring in the negative space. Okay. So I'm going to go and do the other two polka dot sides, and then we'll come back and we'll do the diamond shapes. I'm just gonna go around the edges too after I've done those spots, and I'm just gonna clean up the outer edge of my pumpkin. Perfect. Okay, so for my diamond shapes, I'm gonna go, I think what I'm gonna do is color in the diamonds and leave the background white, so it pops out a little bit more. So I'm gonna go and do that. All right, so now we have our polka dots done, we have our diamond shapes done. I'm just gonna go through the leaves and color every other little design in there and to make those pop out a little bit more, and then we'll be ready to cut it out. All right, you guys, so now we're ready to cut out our pumpkin. So there's our finished pumpkin. I'm gonna cut this out and we'll mount it to our poster board. Don't forget to sign your piece of art too. Anywhere along the edge, you can sign your piece of art. All right, you guys, let's get to cutting. Remember, when you're cutting, you don't have to cut exactly on the line. Let's leave a little bit of space around it. All right, so now that we have our pumpkin cut out, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our Elmer's glue in our poster board. These have a matte side and a shiny side, so we'll use the shiny side today. Whoops. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is we're just gonna go along the edges. You don't have to put too much glue. Just make sure that edge has a nice little dollop right there. And we're just gonna outline the piece of construction paper with the glue. And then we're gonna take it, and as best as you can eye it on your poster board, you're just gonna center it as best as you can with just eyeing it. The good thing with the glue is that you have a little bit of time before it really starts sticking to that page. So I'm gonna center it and just press down those edges. And this is just kind of making a framed piece for these pumpkins. So once you have that done, then you can kind of find and decide where you want your pumpkin on the page. And we're gonna do the same thing without over gluing. I know these glue bottles are so fun to use, and my littles in the studio, they really love to use them. So I have to watch them that they don't squeeze out too much glue, because a little bit of glue will go a long way. And you can use the tip of the glue to just like kind of help you spread it around too and get it closer to the edge if you want in certain places. And we can kind of go across it too, because we want it to stick pretty well to the page. All right, so once you have pretty good glue saturation, then what we're gonna do, it's kind of the same thing. It's your piece of art, so you can kind of just eye it on your page and decide where you want to be, where you want it to be. You see how well that is sticking already. Look at that. If there's any areas where you feel like you just need a little bit of extra glue, you can go back there and just add a little touch wherever you want it. And just kind of press it down with your fingers. And you can do this as small or as big as you want to. It's really up to you. I mean, because you could just really go a lot larger with this, and you could add color. You don't have to do it black and white. Today I'm just doing it black and white to just show you an example. All right, you guys, so here's my finished piece of my abstract pumpkin. I hope you really enjoyed this exercise today. Really, the sky's the limit on what you can think up and what kind of designs you see in your pumpkin. Today I went pretty simple just to show you, but I hope you let your imaginations run wild and just do some fun designs inside your pumpkins. Thank you guys for joining me today for another episode of Studio Creative Kids. I hope fall is treating you well and where you live is cool and nice and giving you all the vibes of what fall brings. All right, you guys, I'll see you on the next episode of Studio Creative Kids.